Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Alright, let's go with this. Oh no, this is 3-leaf clover. Alright, I lost on the first try. What? Oh my gosh. Alright, it's one of these two. Alright, I have to get it on this one. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Kevin here again, and this is a continuation of my video that I did about 2 weeks ago. I actually did like a live stream, which for the first time was a pretty fun thing to do. Really appreciate everyone who made it to the live stream, but for those of you who didn't, let me explain what this video is about. For that live stream, I decided to do a toy design challenge. Now, I was just always sort of overthinking things and sort of complicating things, and you know, if you're not having fun with it, then it's not going to be a fun toy. So for me personally, I felt that the best way to do that was to sort of remove myself from the whole decision-making process. And the way I did that is with this thing. So this is a Gachapon machine, or a capsule vending machine. Now the cool thing about this is that these aren't just regular capsules inside. So usually these things have like toys or something, some kind of prize gift. Well, in here I have ideas. I came up with 3 different categories to use. So the first capsule category is, what kind of character is it? Is it going to be a person? Is it going to be an animal or an inanimate object? Whatever it is, that sort of gives me a good base for what the sort of physical shape of it will look like. The second category is, what type of personality does it have? This can just be sort of an attribute that I can give it, and that way it gives me a way of thinking like what kind of attitude this toy should have, you know. So it could be like happy, shy, comedic, or you know, just like something scary, you know, just to give it a little more personality. So the third category is action or an activity that I can associate with it. So maybe this can help me figure out like, what can this toy do, or you know, just if the other categories aren't working, you know, I can always rely on this one and sort of build it from there. And the whole point of doing the live stream was to show you that this was really like, I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I came up with all these categories and I knew what I was writing on them, but you know, like I didn't know which ones were actually going to come out. It was just really kind of nerve-wracking for me because I have never put myself on the spot like that before. Lately, my creative juices have just not been flowing, and I just needed a way to sort of get my creativity back and get over that sort of you know, art block or whatever you want to call it. And this was just sort of a fun challenge for me to do. So here are the 3 categories I ended up getting out of the Gachapon machine. For the character, I got a dinosaur. Dinosaurs have very interesting shapes and things like that, so that was a good one to start with for my first try. And then for the personality, I got Lucky. Now, Lucky was really fun for me because basically it was all about chances, and a lot of like toys and games, they have an attribute about, you know, luck or chance. So I was like, okay, this is something I can work with. For the action or activity, I got business. At the time, I don't know why I really wrote that down. I guess I was thinking like it could be more like literal, or it could be more abstract, so you could be like a business thing, or it could be like monkey business, or just like the term business, like, you know, mind your own business, something like that. That one was kind of weird to deal with. So after combining those 3 ideas, I ended up with this guy. So as you can see, he definitely looks like a dinosaur. He's got these sort of clover-shaped back spines, and he's got a little business tie. So that was the business part of it. Yeah, I know it's not like super integrated in the whole concept, but I love that he's just wearing like this little tie. And yeah, I'm really happy with him. So he's got the dinosaur part down, he's got the business part mostly down. And for the luck component, I wonder if you can guess how this works. Well, if you caught the live stream that I did, you'll probably know the whole design concept of this, but basically these are clover shaped spines, and from the outside they all look like 3-leaf clovers, but actually one of them is a 4-leaf clover, and the game is to try to find which one it is. So let's see if I can guess. Actually, I'll give you guys a second to just sort of like play the game with me and sort of guess which one it is. So I'll give you like 3 seconds to just look at it and, you know, make your guesses. I actually forgot which one it is, so eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Alright, let's go with this. Oh no, this is 3-leaf clover. Alright, I lost on the first try, so I guess I'm not gonna have super great luck today. Is it this one? No, wrong again. Let me try this guy. What? Oh my gosh. Alright, it's one of these two. Alright, is it this one? Alright, I have to get it on this one. Oh my god. Alright, well, I guess you can say I'm pretty lucky because I left it for last. All right, yeah, this is the proof. So yeah, as you can see, it's really hard to tell from the outside which one it is. If I just put it back in there, like, you really just can't tell. So yeah, I can imagine just having this like as a desk toy, just something to put in your computer while you're working, and you know, show it to friends when they come over or whatever. But I want to make a slightly smaller one, so here's this guy. And yeah, it's just a little smaller, but he still works, everything's there. But actually, you know, because this is a toy that came from a Gachapon machine, I decided I want one that's gonna fit inside of, well, you guessed it, a Gachapon capsule. There is some disassembled parts just because the whole thing wouldn't fit with the spines completely attached, but that's totally all right. In fact, let me show you right now what it looks like. Yeah, you just open it up and there are all the parts. All right, so now we have it fully assembled, and as you can see, all the parts fit perfectly, even though it was printed at a smaller size, and you can basically play this game on the go. All right, so now that you know how this thing works, let me show you how I made it. So to give you the sort of recap on the live stream and how the whole design process went through, after I got those 3 categories, I went immediately to sketching phase, and I just started, you know, I usually just try to do word association. I try to think like, how can I link these ideas? How can I come up with something that sort of groups them together in one package? And so for like 2 hours, I was just basically drawing random things, and I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing. Even though it was my first live stream, I actually had a bunch of people show up, and they were just constantly feeding me ideas, and I was just sort of bouncing other ideas off of them. And basically somebody had suggested, like, what if it was a dinosaur and he had like removable spines or something, and those spines could have like markers on them to sort of determine like a luck component. Now, during this whole time, I did not know exactly how I was going to incorporate the word business. Sometimes, you know, these things don't always mesh together that well, and my workaround for that was I just ended up giving my figure like a tie, like a business tie. I was planning to make him look a little bit like a salaryman or something, like a dinosaur business person holding like a suitcase or whatever, but I ran out of time and I couldn't get to that part. But I did give him a tie, so there's that. The main goal of this is that it's an exercise. You know, it's not about creating the best, most perfect thing. It's about sort of exploring ideas that I never would have come up with on my own, and just doing something very unique and strange, but having fun along the way. So the next step after getting the whole concept of the toy done is to prototype it. Now, I use a program called Fusion 360, and I mainly use it because it has a nifty sort of like timeline feature where you can go back and change dimensions for things, and it'll just sort of auto update everything and make them work again. And that's pretty much the whole reason that I use this program. So in Fusion 360, I began by creating the general shape of my toy. So it's a dinosaur. I wanted to look like, you know, a dinosaur. Now, after I got sort of like all the technical stuff done, I realized that I could only go so far in Fusion 360 in terms of like the character and the form of the shapes and things like that. So I realized that if I wanted to sort of elevate my toy further, I had to bring it into another program, which is called ZBrush. Now, it took me a while to figure that out, but now that I know how to do it, I can think of like so many other ideas that I could just like, I couldn't have done them before in just one program, but now I can combine the two and have like the best of both worlds, and you know, it'll just sort of make the design really complete. I can use Fusion to get the technical side of things because I always try to build in some kind of like functionality to my toys, but then I can use ZBrush, which is way better for doing like making natural forms and actual like sculpting, you know, details and things like that. So I'm really excited about this whole process. It taught me so much. It was just amazing to me to see that like sort of mental change for me, like being able to take a design that I had no clue that I was going to be doing that day and actually have a finished 3D model of it by the end of the day. It was like a unique idea, you know, like it wasn't just like creating an object, but it was creating an experience. And that's sort of what I want my toys to do, is that I want them to be fun and enjoyable. Otherwise, they're not toys. So anyway, if you want to download the files for this, the STL file links will be in the description of the video. If you want access to the project files, I actually have a Patreon set up, so I'll be posting links on my Patreon for the actual like Fusion 360 and ZBrush files that I use for this. So if you want to see how I did it, I'll have a link to them in the Patreon, and you can, you know, see how I built the things in Fusion and, you know, how I did them in ZBrush, and just sort of get an idea of the whole process. All right, I think it's time to wrap up this video. Thank you if you're still watching. I know it was kind of long-winded, but I felt that this video was important for me to do just so I could recap and figure out, you know, the obstacles that I faced on this challenge and what I learned from it. And I learned a lot. I'm definitely gonna be doing these kind of live streams more. I don't know if it's gonna be another like make a toy in a day challenge. If it's not that, I'll just probably be working on something, and you guys will see what I'm doing and ask me questions, and it'll be great to just hang out and chat. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. What the? Oh my, guys, my pants are backwards. Why did I do this? Oh.